and spending a little more each time you go to mail a letter. Stamps could go up to 29 cents by the end of February.
The Postal Rate Commission is recommending a 4-cent increase in the rate for first-class mail. It's also recommending a new 27-cent rate for specially prepared reply envelopes that contain coding, like some of the envelopes you receive with your bills. Consumer advocate Ralph Nader is critical of the proposed 4-cent increase.
The more you give the Postal Service by way of rates, the more they're going to be free to continue their gross inefficiency, mismanagement, and contraction of service.
Now remember, none of this is final. The Postal Service can accept the Commission's proposals or put in higher prices as a protest. And getting back to the discounted airfares offered by Northwest, travel must be made between Monday noon and Thursday noon, and between Saturday at midnight and Sunday noon. These are off-peak hours, so these airline tickets are quite restrictive. Don, Colleen?
All right. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy.
Right now, we're going to turn it over to Amy Marsalis, who's been very busy roaming the stands all night here in the very loud Pittsburgh Civic Arena, known better as the Igloo. And Amy, you got a special guest with you, I think.
I sure do. Quite a few gimmicks here at the Igloo, inside the Igloo. Among them, believe it or not, an Elvis impersonator. If you watched our 5 o'clock news, you know all about him. Elvis is here, alive and well. And Elvis, there's a certain expression that the Penguins announcer makes during certain games. What is that expression?
Elvis has left the building.
And Elvis did not leave the building tonight, did he?
Not tonight, but we're going to sweep him in 4 more.
Anything unusual happened tonight in the game, in the stands, during the game?
Yes, I was mesmerized when I walked in tonight. One of the fans had passed this along to me as good luck tonight, and it really caught me off guard. But like I say, it was a heck of a game tonight. And
ready for game 2.
Yeah, Minnesota played a well game. They played it excellent, and the Pens will be back.
All right. Thank you very much. And Elvis, you can bet we'll be back here Friday night as well. Other interesting things happened. The national anthem, Mark could comment on this as well. It went very long tonight, and it seemed that the reaction wasn't really favorable. It went about 2:20 instead of...
We put a clock on it. That's right, Amy. And, Elvis is here. He's left the building, but the North Stars will be back for Game 2 on Friday night. We'll have a lot more in tonight's game that's coming up a bit later in sports.
All right, Mike, we'll try to get those audio problems worked out and hear from Bobby Smith, too, in just a little bit. Don?
Another headline story coming up, and we're going to talk now about the talk of the town, the Minnesota North Stars. The Stars won Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals last night in Pittsburgh, and before Game 2, there's some important business arena officials have to take care of out in Pittsburgh, and that is where Amy Marsalis is standing by with her Eye on the Stars report. Word on transplanted North Star fans.
That's right, Don. Last night there was a sellout crowd here, and it was a little bit difficult to find many North Stars fans among all the Shark Fins, the Penguins, and Elvis, who you saw me speaking to last night. But I did manage to hook up with some Minnesotans who traveled here. They got free tickets from KQ92, and after the game we talked to them about how it felt to be here in Pittsburgh for Game 1 and what they thought of the Pens fans.
Well, I'll tell you, when the North Stars scored the second goal and put them all under control, I think it was everything I wanted it to be.
How would you compare these fans to the North Star fans?
Well, they're quieter. I mean, North Stars got on right away. They couldn't do nothing. It's like we were up 2-1, and then we kept going back and forth, and they were worried. I could tell. They were confident, but the North Stars kept on the power. They're going to win it.
I am from the Twin Cities. I moved up there last May, and we're season ticket holders still here in Pittsburgh.
Who are you really rooting for?
Well, we got mixed emotions.
At the end of the game there, we just couldn't put the puck in the net. We tried, we gave it our all, but we'll be back. Okay. We'll be back, guys. We'll be back.
Thank you. So the Penguin fans will have to wait another night to raise a ruckus in the Igloo. And now for the business that Don was referring to earlier. As for today, the ice was covered in the arena. The boards were taken down for preparations as the reigning chairman of the board prepares to come here and entertain tonight. And I don't mean Basil McRae.
When an irresistible force such as you.
Yes, Frank Sinatra and his entourage take center stage tonight in the Civic Arena. This afternoon, while North Stars and media mingled for interviews, locker rooms were transformed into dressing rooms for Frank and Stephen Eady. If only the Penguins could iron out their problems as easily as one of Ms. Gourmet's attendants. Efforts to reach Mr. Sinatra proved fruitless, but you can't blame a reporter for trying.
So there are famous skaters, famous singers, and even a famous Sheen is here from what I understand, Don and Cindy. Martin Sheen is here working on a movie in Pittsburgh, and I'd like to show you one of the souvenirs. Iron City beer, now with a penguin on the front. This isn't empty. There is nothing in here. I have not had a beer. This cost $1 from what I understand. My assignment editor purchased this today. So lots of interesting souvenirs here as well, and beautiful sunshine too.
Okay, good. Sure looks nice there. Thank you very much,
It's
Amy.
gorgeous. You're welcome.
Thank you. Now we go to Mike Fairborn, who is standing by in the Weather Center with more on
Wonder if it's as humid there as it is here. We have nice.
Well, of course, we left Amy Marsalis and Scott Reynolds back in Pittsburgh to mind the store, so to speak. And Amy joins us now with a quick look at what the Pittsburgh media have been saying about Minnesota and the Stars. Amy?
Well, Mark, of course, we had to pick up the papers. We've been watching local television sports to see what they have to say. In the Pittsburgh Press today, front page, no fun as Penn see Stars. Music theme kept on hold. Apparently, they wanted to play the Beach Boys' favorite, Fun, 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 but there was never an opportunity to play that one last night. On the sports page, panic hasn't set in. Game 1 relays a familiar story by Dave Molinari. And let me just read a little bit of this to you. Perhaps this is all part of Bob Johnson's master plan. Shift transition game into neutral and leave it there. Encourage opponents to hang around crease so long they need a camping permit. Avoid loose pucks whenever possible. If something must be done, do it slowly and poorly. As far as what the television stations had to say, here's a sample from CBS affiliate KDKA 6 o'clock news.
So what else is new? The Pens are down, one game in the playoffs, John.
I guess they got them right where they want them, yeah. We're back to doing the same thing we did after the first game of the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, figuring out why the Penguins lost. One thing we do know, they didn't lose for the reason that most people thought they might, including my brother Paul.
All we heard about before this series started was the North Stars' incredible power play. How it accounted for virtually half of their 65 goals in the playoffs so far. Last night, it accounted for none of their 5 goals. The Stars were 0 for 4 with a man advantage. It was their penalty killing that stole the show, and the Sharks had no bite.
Mark, a lot of the local media were saying it could have been much worse. It could have been an 8-4 game. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night here.
That's game 2, of course. No time to see Sinatra tonight, huh? Well,
no, unfortunately not.
Okay, we'll check with you later. We'll also hear from Scott Reynolds and his report on what some of the North Stars who are sort of on the outside looking in are doing. Don and Cindy?
Hey, man, go rest your voice.
Thank you.
Please.
Well, we're changing our format. Well, we're changing our format a bit tonight.
We continue to keep an eye on the Stars as they prepare for Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals tonight in Pittsburgh.
There are plenty of other people preparing for that game, including people who make a profit on the tickets, even though they don't work for the teams. They are, of course, the ticket scalpers, and that's who Amy Marsalis is going to tell us about from Pittsburgh. Amy.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cindy, this is the hottest ticket in town in Pittsburgh for Game 2. And if you don't have one of these, you don't have to go too far to find one and get one for the right price, as we've observed this week.
Here's a guy trying to look casual as he goes in search of a Pens ticket across the street from the Igloo. All of a sudden, he has a lot of friends. It's time to deal. But one scalper told us he couldn't believe how cheap some fans were, not willing to pay even $75 for a championship game. These guys drove from Ohio looking for a ticket, but the price just wasn't right.
I figured about $50 you might get in, you know, even if it's a little bit after the game starts.
Wait till they drop the puck a little.
Yeah.
The price should go down.
But you don't have to go shopping on the street. Just check the one ads, and bingo, tickets for sale.
I have 2 tickets on the glass behind the goal where the Penguins shoot twice. These are prime seats for a premier event. They are $250 each or $500 for the pair. Shop around for comparable seats.
Let's try another number. We found available seats with a hitch.
Obstructed view, but it's very minor.
Like, what's the obstruction?
I don't know.
So $125 for the single with the obstructed view?
Yes.
So $125 for an obstructed view, whatever that is, pay it and you'll find out. A ticket agent here in Pittsburgh tells me the average scalper is getting about $200 a ticket for the game. Now, the face value of these tickets, Stanley Cup tickets, is anywhere from $35 to $45. So some people are turning a quick profit out here. Dave and Cindy?
Was that ticket on loan, Amy, or did you actually buy that one?
Well, it is on loan from a member of our sports department, and this is C31, C31, row seat F6, the price $41. So I'll get to watch for a little while tonight.
Well, enjoy the game, as we all will back here.
I will.
Thanks very much, Amy. And we'll have the rest of the sports. That's coming up next.
We're now going to turn to the story out of Bloomington, which is where the North Stars are playing tonight's Stanley Cup Finals game. Amy Marsalis is anchoring our coverage from the Met Center. Amy, what's happening?
Well, Mike, as you know, it is the toughest ticket in town, and those lucky enough to have those tickets into the Met Center tonight are beginning to flood the parking lots here in Bloomington. Hello again, I'm Amy Marsalis at the WCCO Television Stanley Cup headquarters, and yes, the sun has finally come out today. Who knows what that means? Hopefully shining on the stars tonight. We'll be with you for this edition of the Weekend News. Of course, we'll be back with live reports at 10 o'clock, and we will have a special at 10:35 following the game. Well, in mid-January, no one would have thought the North Stars would be playing hockey in mid-May, but they are, and their story has captured the attention of the entire state as well as the country. All the enthusiasm for the green and gold has translated into the color of money as well. Daryl Savage has been following the merchandising of the surprising North Stars, and he also found some early tailgaters outside the Met Center. Daryl?
Well, Amy, you'll have to pardon the expression, but it is a World Series-like atmosphere in the Met Center parking lot. As you mentioned, the gates are just opening. We'll be changing uniforms, so they will be strictly black and gold. Amy?
Okay, thank you very much, Daryl. I can see a lot of green right here. Some women with green in their hair, green painted on their face. So the enthusiasm is building. Of course, the main event is about an hour and a half away. The Stars and the Pens tied at 1 game apiece in this best-of-7 series. We're going to go inside now to Mark Rosen in our WCCO Television Sky booth for more as the game draws near. Mark?
Well, Amy, it's really right now is about the last time for the rest of the evening that you can hear yourself think in this building. They've been playing the theme song from Rocky, The Natural, Field of Dreams, just about any other poignant moment in sports. Time 7:05, Amy. Of course, as you mentioned, we'll have the complete wrap-up at 10:35 on our Eye on the Stars special. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Mark. It's getting exciting out here. Mike Walsher will be back from our studio with more of today's news in just a moment, and then we'll be back with more of our Eye on the Star coverage. We'll also have the weather and sports as the drive to the Stanley Cup continues. Welcome back to the Met Center and WCCO TV's live Eye on the Stars coverage as fans start rolling in their last chance to see the North Stars on home ice this season. We hope it won't be the last time they get to see them play this season. Hello, everyone. I'm Amy Marsalis. My assignment today, I had an interesting one. It was to go find out what souvenirs are selling with regards to the North Stars. I walked over to the Thunderbird and I found some interesting things, and my assistant here, Matt Balo, is going to...
We're assisting.
help.
Like Regis.
He's going to help me show you some of the items that I found today. Now, they told me this is one of the hot-selling T-shirts. It's different because it's not the solid color with the emblems. Thank you. That's number one. Number two, the sweatshirt with both teams' names on it, both the Pens and the North Stars. And this one is my favorite.
Pre-shrunk.
If you have pre-shrunk, it's a baby one. Isn't that adorable if you had a child? Now, Christmas is just 7 months from today. None too early to get some ornaments, and this could be a collector's item. And some green ear bobs, some really cute earrings that say North Stars. I really like those, but I didn't know if I should wear them. I might look like a Christmas tree myself today. And then this is a T-shirt I happened to purchase in Pittsburgh. This is something they're selling at the Igloo, and it has both teams on them. Very nice emblem here. So that's just a sampling of some of the things that you could find. Thank you. Great job, Matt.
I'll be back.
You're a great assistant. He'll be back with the weather, and I'll assist him. Well, if there's one thing you can count on in a championship series, it's all the taunting that goes on between the two host cities. Jokes are made, songs are written, all in the name of cutting down the competition. As Bill Hudson found out, when your opponent is a Penguin, it's an open season for jokes.
Just over 5 minutes into the game, already off
The battle for the Stanley Cup is getting downright dirty, not on the ice, but in the airwaves.
The worthless penguin lived by the steel and frolicked in the thick black smoke, which made him deathly ill.
Dump. I guess it'd be a dump. Steel town, you know, lots of crime and stuff.
This melodic slam on Pittsburgh and its bird mascot is the work of Tony Lee from the KQRS morning crew.
There are no real penguins in Pittsburgh, which shows that they're liars too. And they also cannot spell. They put an X in Mario Lemieux.
The First thing I don't like about the Penguins is Merrill Lemieux. He's pretty wimpy, I think.
The Steelers, they beat our Vikings. We've hated their town ever since. So go you Stars and club that bird and make him squirm and wince.
And besides, fans say, what kind of team emblem is a penguin anyway?
Kind of a goofy one. I wouldn't want to be one, that's for sure. I'd be a little embarrassed.
Hey, Peggy, kiss that cup goodbye. Get ready for the kill.
Now, of course, we couldn't feel so badly for the Penguins fans because they're doing the same thing to us in Pittsburgh. Amy, it's all for fun.
That's right, Bill. What fun would it be if we couldn't poke fun at the other ones?
That's right.
That's right. Thank you very much. Well, when we come back, Matt Bala will be here live with our Stanley Cup forecast. So don't go away as our Eye on the Stars coverage continues.
And we're going to check in again with Amy at Met Center before the final home game of the season. Let's hope it's not the final game, though, Amy.
Well, we certainly hope not. I wanted to see if you noticed anything different about me, Mike. I guess you didn't. Or did you?
I do. It's you, Amy.
Well, I thought it should be the look for tonight anyway, and Norm Green didn't give me these. You know, I don't have those famous star earrings that he's been passing out, but I thought these were a close second to those. The tailgaters are filing in, firing up their grills, getting enthused for Game 6 now, just about 40 minutes away. The players are on the ice. We have some video, some live shots, I believe, of the players on the ice getting warmed up for Game 6. As RJ and Mark were saying earlier, the first few minutes of the game are probably going to be very key in Game 6. We hope you'll join us again at 10. We'll have live reports. We'll see you then.
All right, very good. And hope you'll join us again at 10. Have a good evening.
On our way to St. Peter, this is what we found. A rowboat anchored next to the Westfall home and a family trying to beat the water upstairs. Doug Westfall and one of his 6 children were knee-high in the rising waters.
It was bad yesterday, but, you know, over the night it's really been rising, and just came back to move everything up to the 2nd floor.
The Westfalls had 8 inches of water on the main floor at last check. Other residents who live along the Minnesota River in the town of St. Peter are trying to pump out as much water as fast as they can.
Very discouraging. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
How long have you lived here?
2 years. I just finished remodeling my house.
And then there are roads and bridges submerged in water. Highway 22 was closed over the weekend. It hasn't been underwater since 1969.
You can barely see it, but there is a house just beyond the trees right off of Highway 22 here that was closed over the weekend. The people did manage to get some things out of their home. No telling when they'll be able to go back.
Another bridge, the Highway 99 bridge in St. Peter, is closed, and efforts to reinforce the dike on the other side were a race with the rushing water's own clock. For now, all anyone can do is wait for the worst and hope when the waters recede, it won't be as bad as it looks right now. With photographer Brad Early, Amy Marsalis, WCCO Television News, St. Peter.
This is the result of all the flooding. A 15-year-old boy wearing a blue shirt is stranded above the water as the Minnesota River continues to crest. Good afternoon. Today, the river nearly took 2 teenagers with it, and the story is still going on.
One teenager has been rescued. The other is still stranded, and it's happening near Chaska, all within the past few hours. Let's join Amy Marsalis now with an update. Amy?
Well, rescuers are still trying to get to a 15-year-old boy. We understand he is still hanging on to a tree. It's way beyond all this wooded area, in an area that is submerged in water because of the flooding waters of the river. And we have some dramatic videotape we want to show you now of rescuers trying to get to the 15-year-old boy. You may be able to see him in a corner on the left-hand side of the screen in a dark blue shirt. Rescuers have been running out of rope, so they may consider bringing in a boat to get to him. Apparently the boy is okay. He's clinging onto a tree, but he is very scared, as you can imagine. A 17-year-old girl has already been rescued. We talked to her just a few minutes ago.
Well, the current, we misjudged the current, and it kind of like just scary how you can be swept away. We're swept away. The current
Right now we're running the risk of the kid was in the water for a long time. We're running the risk of hypothermia. A lot of the rescuers have been in the water just as long. We're trying to cycle them in and out as best we can so that same thing won't happen to them. So far, so good.
Again, rescuers, their biggest concern is getting to this 15-year-old boy. We just know his first name is Dave. The 17-year-old girl's name is Shimon O'Connor. Again, she was taken away with a few cuts and bruises, as she described briefly on tape. They got swept away. They didn't know how strong the current was, nor how high the water was. They were riding their bikes on a DNR trail from Shakopee to Chaska when they hit this high water, which, as we said, swept them away. Again, at this hour, they are trying to get the 15-year-old boy safely out of harm's way, and we will let you know as soon as they accomplish that.
Amy, it seems that this is almost too densely wooded and too low and near the river to even use a helicopter. Is that why the boat is being called in?
That is a good possibility. Again, they have not let us down there. There was one pool camera to shoot video of them trying to rescue the boy, but very, very wooded, very dense. Talked to some little kids. They ride their bikes on this DNR trail quite often, as recent as last week, and then they noticed that the waters were rising again. Some other boys who were down there and found these two teenagers initially before rescuers came said that the water is very strong. The rapid is very, very strong. So again, rescuers have quite a job on their hands, more than I think they originally thought.
Okay, we'll maybe check back with you a little bit later. Amy Marsalis reporting from Chaska. And rescuers tried to throw ropes to him, but couldn't reach. Amy Marsalis is live in Chaska now with the latest on this story. Amy?
Well, Scott, the 15-year-old boy, we're happy to say, was rescued from the rushing waters here just about 20 minutes ago. We got a look at him. He looked like he was okay. They were giving him some oxygen and put him in an ambulance right away. His first name is David. He's 15. We believe he's from Shakopee. Apparently, they got to him by boat, which you should be able to see in this video now. A rescue boat came in and got the boy after several hours of rescuers trying to get to him with a rope and failing because of the rushing waters and the distance between the trees and the rescuers. They finally brought in a boat and they were successful. A 17-year-old girl, Shimon O'Connor, had also been in the water. She was easier to get to, and we talked to her a few minutes ago.
Well, we were riding our bikes down the trail, and we didn't realize the strength of the current, and it took both of us. Well, it threw me in a tree, and he just got caught stuck.
Shimon felt very fortunate, she said, because several boys had been in the area playing near the water. They saw her, tried to get to her by tossing her limbs, reaching to her, and then the rapid waters took her away from them. But they went to get help. She said if it wouldn't have been for them, she's not sure if she would be here tonight. Both the boy and the girl feel very lucky this evening, and again, they appear to be in good shape.
All right, thanks very much. Amy Marsalis reporting on a successful rescue of two teenagers out in Chaska.
They're big, they're clunky, and they are hot. Doc Martens are all the rage in shoe wear. You may have noticed more people wearing these Docs.
Tonight in Trend Tracks, Amy Marsalis steps out in search of Doc Martens, and she didn't have to go very far.
They're kind of clunky looking.
I like them. I think they're pretty cool.
I think they're ugly, and I'd never wear them.
Doc Martens. Heard of them? Here they are. British imports that young punk rockers have been wearing for years. But recently, the audience for Docs has grown as the shoemaker tries to expand its market into the mainstream.
Well, I contemplated it, but I felt I was a little too old for this trend. How old is too old? 30-something.
Urban Outfitters in uptown Minneapolis says it sells, on average, 30 to 40 pairs of shoes and boots each week. They are sturdy, with air-cushioned soles that make them comfortable for long days on your feet. Shoes range from $60 to $70, boots around $120. Some young kids are anxious to lace them on, but the price tag is a deterrent.
Yes, I would wear them. I plan on getting some soon.
Why don't you have any yet? I mean, they've been around for a while.
I still have to get the money together.
So reporters are on their feet every day, out in the trenches, so they might make sense. But how do they look with this outfit?
You know, what would you wear them with?
These bibs.
And what about the future for Doc Martens?
I think Minneapolis customer will always like it, no matter what.
No matter if grunge is in or out, do you think?
Oh yeah, grunge will stay around Minneapolis for quite a few more years, I think. It's just, that's the way we are.
Amy Marsalis, WCCO Television News.
Happy hour used to be pretty much just an excuse to relax, but not anymore. Now, if you are a trivia buff, you can be the center of attention.
You're looking at a live picture of the Cattle Company in Roseville, where free trivia games are taking over.
I'm sorry.
Amy Marsalis is at the Cattle Company, we think. Trend and track reporter Amy Marsalis, are you out there?
Well, Cindy, if you love trivia, you could become addicted to this. We are at Cattle Company in Roseville, where there are a lot of regulars playing the game. They have 18 boards. I want to show you how this works. The good thing is it's free. It's easy if you're good at trivia. They give you now a wireless transmitter that you're looking at. You sign on and put your name or your team's name in, and then you want to have a good position. You want to be able to see the big screen with all the questions. Right now they're giving people clues to the answers, so they really make it easy for you. Which writer has won the most Pulitzer Prizes for drama? Eugene O'Neill. Of course I knew that. But they do give you clues. If you're not doing too well, I have not been doing too well tonight. But while we're playing, other people in the bar, of course, are playing 18 boards, and people across the country are playing. And then when you're finished, they give you a rundown of your scores, like who did the best, you know, what bar or restaurant did the best in the country, and the points that they get. If you look over here, Jeff, again, you can see the scores here from right here in the bar, and then later they give you the rundown from across the country. It's a lot of fun, and it is free unless you're eating and drinking a lot. Now also, last night we went to Lions Pub in St. Paul, where they have the game, the interactive video, and they were playing QB1. We want to show you that video. Now these guys were watching the preseason game between the Browns and Washington, and you get to play like you're the coach. You predict what the quarterback is going to do. Is he going to pass? Is he going to run the ball? And this is what these guys had to say about playing QB1.
When you're playing this, the fun is trying to predict the plays, and then you're competing with everyone else in the bar. So, you know, that adds just another level to watching a football game, you know, that may or may not be boring.
And one warning about interactive trivia, and this is from our 6 o'clock producer, Don and Cindy, that is, it could be dangerous to your relationship.
Well, that's a good note to leave it on. Thank you very much, Amy.